I was lucky enough to win a travelling scholarship at the University of Oxford called the Heath Harrison Scholarship. The conditions were that I should spend 6 weeks in France in one place or at the most 2 places. We decided to combine this scholarship, this travel, with a honeymoon. So we were married in Canterbury Cathedral, and then off we went to France, and I decided to explore the relationship between the great 19th century novelist Honoré de Balzac and the Touraine, which is one of the central provinces of France, where he came from.
And anyway, and then in the sort of panic of the moment, the craziest thing could definitely be for a certain amount of money, maybe everyone has a certain number of euros each, what can you...
Representing Norwich Cathedral, here comes Yorkshire. Performing game. You've been very quiet up to now. He's having a good look. I'm being an embarrassing tourist. That's my job.
Belle qui tient ma vie, captive dans tes yeux, qui m'a l'âme ravie d'un sourire gracieux. Viens, toi me secourir, me faudra mourir.
Can you see the selection not from the local patisserie?
Me secourir, me faudra mourir.
Bravo!
So natural. Oh, look at us, we're something to do that.
We went to a place called Loches, Loches, in the centre of France, mainly because I'd been there the year before on a course run by the Institut Collégial Européen, in which we studied the modern French novel in the Chateau of Loches itself. So the honeymoon was partly intellectual and partly not intellectual. And we stayed in Loches in the Hôtel du Château for a fortnight and attended various lectures and concerts. I particularly remember the folk singing of a man called Jean Rosol, who played the guitar and sang very, very well.
You're asking the wrong people. Do you want this one?
the honeymoon we had to move on, and we went to a place called Sache, which is where Honoré de Balzac owned a small chateau, which is now a museum. The Café Balzac, where we stayed, was a very homely place. It welcomed holidaymakers from France, and when we got there we found ourselves in the middle of a sort of family, really. The living was 15 francs a day, all drinks thrown in, and the meals were lavish. Too lavish for me, I'm afraid, in the end, in that I ended up on my bed sipping chamomile, which I didn't like, so I poured it into a plant pot. We also had a boat on the river Indre, which flowed through Sache, and I remember rowing on this boat, which was very nice. During the visit to Sache, we were taken by the owner of the cafe to a Sang et Lumière in Azay le Rideau, great chateau, Renaissance chateau. Sang et Lumière was fairly new at that period, and so we enjoyed that very much. We also went to a Sang et Lumière at the chateau of Chenonceau, which is on the river Cher, a tributary of the Loire. Enjoyed that very much.
When we got to the Café Balzac, it was lunchtime, and we were rather astonished at the fineness of the meal. And David said to a couple who were there, is this something special today? And they said, no, it's always like this. And so the meals were very fine, and as David said, the wine and everything was all included. So we were very spoilt. And I think a lot of the cooking was done by the grandmother. There was the owner and her husband, and the grandmother was very much a presence there, and they had a son, and this was the time when young men in France were going off because France was having trouble in North Africa. So he was going to go to, was it Algeria? Yes. But he was there too. David was doing his studies, and that took us to various places in the Loire Valley where Balzac had written about and had connections with. But of course we didn't have a car, so we were limited to what we could do by public transport. But it was a very interesting experience, and I think the fact that David wrote this paper about Balzac in Touraine contributed to the fact that later, when he wanted to do research into Théophile Gautier, I think it contributed to the fact that he was able to do that. So he was able to do a postgraduate degree on the travel books of Théophile Gautier, but I think a lot of the confidence his tutor felt about his being able to do this was from this paper that he did on Balzac.
picture frame.
Lo stato!
That is very nice. Granny's got her Harry Potter. Grandpa has his very large souffle.
Compared with everyone else.
Also known as the grandpa walk.
Rubbish.
And team.
The grandma walk.
Grandpa's crashing the video.
Bonsoir, mesdames, messieurs.